Some people, you know, it just happens. And you think of it to be so simple, you know, until you start thinking of the moments, or until you're faced with the times where it's not that simple and it doesn't just happen for you. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Winston Churchill said, "Never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about." So before going to a doctor, I thought I'd begin to do some research on my own and making strides in the next steps of family planning. I looked online for tips in improving fertility. Most sites talked about the importance of health and wellness, in addition to staying hydrated, reducing stress, and eliminating alcohol and tobacco. So the first thing I did was I began to make exercise a priority. I stressed doing cardio and even muscle training. Diet was also an important factor. So I began to make small changes, like instead of having caffeinated coffee, I began to drink decaffeinated coffee. I increased drinking water, and I tried to make sure I had more lean meals throughout the day. And most importantly, I knew I needed to begin to track my cycle and ovulation. So I went to CVS to look for and to purchase an ovulation tracker. I didn't want to buy a generic one because I just wasn't sure if it would work. But boy, was I surprised by the pricing of these, the Clear Blue digital ovulation test. As you can see, they were $52 for a 10 count one, and then $66, $67 for a 20 count one, which I figured I would get that one just to be on the safe side. So I ended up getting the Clear Blue ovulation tracker with 20 tests.
Y'all see that? $67. All right, we're gonna give it a try. I've heard people talk about this being really good, so I think I'm gonna try to give this a try as well. Let's go check out.
So after about 2 months, I went through the Clear Blue ovulation trackers. I tried some ovulation predictors from the dollar store, and then I went on Amazon and I purchased these easy at home ovulation tests. As you can see, it comes with the blue package is all the ovulation tests. That whole box and that whole row right there was full, and then the pink ones on the right are for pregnancy tests. And then these you see here, I actually began to track my cycle and learn how to do it. So you see the cycle days numbered, then the actual date. As you can see, this is actually in 2021. So this is March of 2021 where I began to do the tracking. That says May. And then here, this is June. So you have the cycle days. And according to the ovulation trackers, they tell you to test around your 8th or 9th day. So I began to test on the 8th day. And then as you can see, the lines, the first line in the front, it gets darker on the days of ovulation. So that's why they have you track the whole like 8 to 9 days before time, because they say you're your most fertile, you're 2 days before ovulation. So then again, this is August of 2021. You see that I did tracking from day 8 all the way to 18. And on some days, I even tested twice, in the morning and in the afternoon. Hey everyone. So I figured I'd come and do a little update. As I mentioned, I faced a huge reality. I have tried several things to help increase my chances of conceiving, and unfortunately I have been unsuccessful. As you guys saw, I got ovulation test, and I would say I tested myself over 6 months. was doing the ovulation testing, and we still have no success. It's definitely not a easy reality to face. Honestly, I never thought that I would see myself here. I never thought that this would be a difficulty when I actually focused and concentrated and made a conscious effort to make this happen. You know, not to sound juvenile, but to think that some people, you know, it just happens. And you think of it to be so simple, you know, until you start thinking of the moments, or until you're faced with the times where it's not that simple and it doesn't just happen for you. And it's not an easy reality to face, that something could be wrong with you. So, like I said, and I'm gonna show you guys, like I literally did testing. Like this is a whole month of going through testing, and you can kind of see where the lines are non-existent of when you're possibly ovulating, and then the lines get darker and darker, and then they fade back to light once you've passed the time of ovulation. So I cannot say that I did not try. And it didn't work. So I am gonna move forward, and I have placed a call with my OBGYN to let her know that I left a message with the nurse. I'm waiting for her to call me back so that she can give me a recommendation of a doctor. I believe they're called Reproductive Endocrinologists. So I'm waiting for her to give me a call back, and then I will reach out to a fertility specialist.
Thank you for calling NYU Langone, Reproductive Specialist of New York.
Alright, so I just left. I don't even know if I'm gonna upload this, but I just left a fertility doctor, and I figured I would record my journey. Don't know how this is going to turn out. It's really scary because of the uncertainty, but I'm going to move forward in faith. So I just left the doctor, and the ball has already begun rolling. Today is Tuesday, March 22nd. So tomorrow at 7 a.m. I will come in to get blood work done, so that they can determine my egg reserve. And then they will also give me prescriptions for an antibiotic that I have to take Wednesday and Thursday, so that on Friday I have scheduled an x-ray, and this x-ray is called an HSG. The word is very complex, like a stopogenic, something like that. It's called an HSG, and that is a test that's going to be done with a radiologist. They will be doing a check of my fallopian tubes to make sure that my fallopian tubes are not blocked. It seems very scary. Yeah, so I have to fast tonight for 12 hours before my blood work in the morning at 7 a.m. And then I will be on antibiotics for 2 days to prevent any type of infection that would happen from the test from the x-ray that's gonna happen on Friday at 9:30, where they will be vaginally inserting a needle to check my fallopian tubes. Again, it sounds very scary, but I'm trying to think of the end game and let that supersede any fear or uncomfortability that I may feel in regards to the procedures or even this topic. Yeah, so this is the beginning of our journey, and you know, I'll be all right.